We have more filming updates on location from House of the Dragon Season 2. What scenes do we think are being filmed right now? We're going to get into that right now on the Sundowners Club. Welcome. I'm your host, Sean. My co-host, Sterling. So, Sterling, we saw about a month ago what initially I thought was a part of Winterfell, and then I had to correct myself because clearly it was the turrets of the top of Castle Black.
Right.
And so the wall. And now we know that they've been filming for House of the Dragon Season 2 at Bourne Woods. And they've done a lot of the battles that we know are going to be around Rook's Rest, a huge battle that's going to be occurring in Season 2 of Dance of the Dragons. And it's going to be actually in Episode 4, directed by Alan Taylor. We now have footage of what I initially looked at and thought, could that be soldiers from Winterfell? But it's not. It's members of the Night's Watch, the Northmen, the members of the Night's Watch on horseback. We're going to show you some of that video clip right now. And we also have footage where they have created snow inside the forest around Bourne Woods. So we know that there are going to be scenes leading to the wall. While we're talking about Bourne Woods and the Battle of Rook's Rest and the Night's Watch, make sure to hit that like button. Leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think. Hit the notifications bell. And most importantly, hit subscribe so that we can continue to grow our channel. And we know that Cregan Stark is coming. So, first of all, tell me what you think. I mean, I know that you haven't read Fire and Blood, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they bring in the Wall to Season 2. But are you looking forward to seeing Cregan Stark? Are you looking forward to seeing Winterfell, the Night's Watch? What do you think about some of these scenes that we're seeing, the on-location scenes, and kind of bringing us back to the familiarity with Game of Thrones?
Well, for me, like we've talked about this before, we kind of have different perspectives. You've read the books, and I watched the TV shows. You've done both, but for me, it's cool because you're seeing kind of those old settings, and this takes place several hundred years before the original Game of Thrones. But I think you said that that's the wall's not actually in the book, is it?
Not in this point in time.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I kind of like him.
But I will say that Jace is going to Winterfell, and so you don't know how they're gonna tell the story.
Right.
The books are basically from the point of view of the telling of the Maesters. So they're going to say this is what happened. Right. But as we've already seen in Season 1 of House of the Dragon, the real truth of the story is going to be on the show, on the screen, according to the showrunners. And so we know that Jace is going to Winterfell to gather support and alliance with Cregan Stark from House Stark and Winterfell. But we don't know, is Cregan even going to be at Winterfell? He could be north.
Right.
We don't know to what extent is Jace travels around when you start talking about the Eyrie and you talk about Winterfell and in certain areas as he travels to build alliances. So they certainly could bring it into play. And they know that fans are going to love it if it's done correctly, if it serves the story. And there's nothing that's happened in House of the Dragon so far that would make you question that they're doing anything other than serving the story. So, and clearly in this video, these are men of the Night's Watch. And so, it's really cool to see it. We also have, there's been a lot of supporting casting news, but what I'll say is that there's one character that I do want to mention. Erica Ford has been cast, but we don't know the role. It's possible she could play a critical character named Sara Snow. And and fans know that when you hear the last name Snow, that's a bastard.
Bastard from the north, right?
Right,
yeah.
From the north, right. And so, we don't know for sure that that's who Erica's playing, but she certainly looks like that could be who she's playing. So we also don't have any announcement yet of who's playing Cregan Stark, but wanted to put up a few of these images as we see the snowy woods that they've created around Bourne Woods for the filming, and that's one of the things that is missing in a lot of series that you see on the streaming providers and television shows is that realism that you get, that on location filming that immerses you in the story, and nobody does it better.
Yeah, you're so used to a green screen now.
Yeah,
Just-
and they have the green screens in House of the Dragon.
Right.
They have their version of the volume in that, and then they had Game of Thrones, the green screen, but
Feels
not
a
at
lot
the,
more real.
not at the expense of the filming on location. And when they can film on location, they do.
Right.
Same thing that I will give credit to Tony Gilroy that he did with Andor. You know, there was green screen in the volume in Andor, but they did a lot of on location filming that they haven't done in any other Star Wars series. So Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon really paves the way for that. And it even when you see the filming of these actors before they've even yelled action, you're looking at some of this footage and it puts you there.
Right.
It really puts you there. And we also have a couple of other images around Fabian Frankel, Sir Kristen Cole, kneeling next to someone who is either dead or maimed or wounded. And so we won't really give anything away as to what we think that is. But, you know, we do want to mention that, you know, there's footage of soldiers in battle that are driving up a hill, going up a hill on horseback and running. We see a lot of people wounded and bodies burned. So we're going to see one hell of a battle of Rook's Rest. And with each passing day, we see footage. And so we do want to give credit and shout out to Unbox PhD. Go follow them on Twitter. A lot of great images. And so really some great content that they put out on location showing the filming. And check out Redanian Intelligence, where they have some images as well and casting announcements. So really good stuff from those sites and their social media platforms. But so as we wrap up, tell me what you think. Season 2, House of the Dragon. What one thing, since you've seen season 1, what one thing are you looking forward to the most? Not necessarily knowing the names of all the battles and what happens.
The
Is there
battles
something
themselves.
So you're looking forward to a battle that eclipses.
I thought they did a really good job in the first season. I mean, you could tell they got the budget put away for it right away. And I don't think it's going to be 8 episodes, so it's going to be shorter. So I think they'll have more money to spend on those big episodes.
And Rook's Rest is going to be a huge battle.
Yeah,
I mean that's going to be a huge battle. And
that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Just the watching dragons fight. You know?
So what we're going to see are 3 things I want to mention before we wrap up, and I think they're critical. Is 1, we're going to see the alliances, and we're going to see the beginning of the paranoia as people lose their lives on both sides, and what war does not only to people but to families. And this is a family civil war for power. And so we're going to see a lot around the political machinations of alliances that people loved about Game of Thrones when Tyrion, Varys, and Littlefinger, you know, were setting the tables for, you know, who was going to be aligned with who. And we're going to see that in season 2. We're going to see huge battles that should not only rival Battle of the Bastards and Hardhome, things like that, but we're going to see it ratcheted up, you know, because you've got more dragons.
Right.
And so there's more at stake, so to speak, you know, and we're going to see that. And we're going to see a transition from some of the characters like Alicent and Rhaenyra to the kids as they kind of grow up and they become center stage in this war. And so we saw the beginning of that in season 1, but that'll take center stage in season 2. And so those are 3 key components that as they're serving this story to lead us into season 3, they've got to do that and do that well.
And you won't see any cast swaps. I mean, these will be the actors that were at the end of last season. They'll be through this entire season, I would guess, right?
I don't have any reason to believe that there would be any swaps from the characters that we ended the season with, as far as Aemond and Aegon and Jace. All the characters would stay the same. So, but looking forward to it. Let us know what you think. You know, are you looking forward to seeing the Night's Watch? What do you think about Rook's Rest? You know, what do you think about seeing the snowy grounds that lead to the Wall or around Winterfell? You know, tell us what you think. Leave a comment. Hit that notifications bell. And most importantly, hit subscribe so that we can continue to grow our channel and TCB.